My name is Jeff Hollowell. I'm a strategic account manager for Pioneer. Been with Pioneer for about 17 years now. Work with Jeremy and Silent Shade. And this morning they're going to talk to you about Granular. It's a financial software program. Before we do that, I'm going to give you a real quick update on Pioneer's digital platform. Everybody's got a digital platform in the world today. We have one that's called Encirca. And it's going to be just like any other digital platform that's out there. Let's see, let me make this thing work right quick. It's basically in the market space at 3 different offerings. A basic offering, which is free. When you buy seeds from Pioneer, and if you want to utilize that, you go online, you make your own account, and you can use that for these weather type, seeding rates, and a little satellite imagery. It's also offered in this area of the country as Encirca Pro, which does have a small nominal fee, and that comes for a higher resolution satellite imagery and crop health index. So you can see week over week change in your crop. The thing that I think that does for us is if you got a problem and you go out and you sample a site, you know what that sample site looks like, but you don't understand the scope of it. So this satellite imagery stuff that's coming online allows you to understand the scope of the problem. So that's a pretty cool thing. And then in the Corn Belt, we have a premium offering, which actually comes through a certified agent like a consultant would be. And that entails a whole list of fertility options, nitrogen management, and all that kind of stuff. We don't do that in this part of the country yet. We do know that all of these, no matter whose digital platform it is, they're changing rapidly, okay? So we've gone from 2020 monitors to today where you're, doing all kinds of seed and rate recs, fertilizer recs. We know that they're going to continue to change, and you got to keep up with the times. And that's the thing about this ag business, is shrinking fast, okay? All of them do basically the same thing. They're going to be a record keeping tool. They're built around yield maps. They're looking for input structures. The part that most of them don't hit on is that profitability piece right there. A lot of talk about profitability and how they help you make more money, but as far as analyzing those numbers, the profitability, which way your farm's headed, north, south, east, or west, Granular is the piece that does that. Only player in the space today that can do what they do. All right, so back on August 31st, Dow and DuPont merged. 2 big ships came together. And in that merge, Granular came into the fold. And so what you're going to hear about next, basically, is going to be the Granular platform from a farm perspective of how that's used to make them more efficient. So today what we have with us is Jeremy Jack, from the CEO of Silent Shade Planting Company, and Dr. Trey Coger. Jeremy's going to talk to you as a foundation partner with Granular from a historical perspective up to today and how that's changed and it's been built out. So Jeremy, it's yours. I want to say thanks. Appreciate you being here and investing the time this morning. If you need CCA credits, there's a yellow folder on that back table and there's a pen right there on top of it. Sign your CCA number and name down so you make sure you get the credit for that. Again, thanks for being here and investing some time with us this morning. Anybody have any questions about any of the financials on the software program?
I'm in the lending industry, and all this stuff is just great. The more data, the better when it comes to analyzing and cost production and stuff. I mean, is there a, lender use type? Y'all had any type of, piloting that type of? I mean, 'cause this would be great for even what we do. I mean, that's something I'd like to talk to you about, and that's all this per acre and keeping up with that. It's such a great tool to have, really, just in every type of analyst, on our end too. So, I don't know, are y'all?
You work with a bank anywhere?
Not exclusively, no. So I don't know if Chris, you want to jump in on here? This is my buddy Chris. He's on the sales team as well.
Yes.
Come on in.
Yeah, we're not partnered with any specific bank at the moment, but bankers love the reports and information that we have to offer. Yeah, we have one customer in Illinois where he told us for 2017 he got a decreased interest rate just to cover the cost of Granular because his banker loved it so much.
Awesome.
So we have a lot of counterparts up north that do that, and it's just, like I said, that's why I was wanting to hear about all this. It's really great information. And then the acre value, appraisals and keeping up with different, that's just such a good tool to have in general, like for lending in general, appraisal, farm management, that's great.
One note on the acre value piece too, that is free. That's the basic offering is free to anybody. It's an online website. Go in there and check it out. So.
And it's very helpful. We had a landlord that was, went to the hospital, didn't have a lot of immediate family, and cousin came to me and we don't know where the land is, we don't know what it is or anything like that, and they were trying to figure it out, and I went in there and showed them this is all the land that they own, and gave them parcel information, all that, and they just took off with it. As I said, it's very helpful to learn a lot about and to have that tool out there.
Other questions?
So do y'all have like a dedicated person that's inputting all of your data? Is it
It's
Jeremy or?
It's a team
is it
approach.
a team?
It's divided cars. Yeah, it's, you know,
I don't mean the work order side. I mean
Inputs.
putting in the crop plan and then the field plan, you know.
that's a team
Information,
effort.
team
It
effort.
is. You know, once you sit down and you make the decision what to plant where, then the crop plan and the field plans fall in place very easily. But the nice thing about it is, you know, there's essentially 3 people in our operation that use it all the time. And pretty much any of those 3 can go in and do things like that. Now, I'm not gonna go in and focus on the profit analyzer and things like that, this is not my portion of business. But the nice thing about it is it's fairly simple to use. Those types of inputs are pretty easy to fall in place once you decide what to plant where.
Yeah, an additional comment there is, there's 2 ways to get the information in. One is through the equipment monitor data, and then the other is through the mobile app. I know some people, sometimes they feel like, you know, their operators may not be interested or willing to, you know, maybe they don't even have a smartphone to use the mobile app. Is there any way that you guys got around that?
Well, we told them.
You what?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. You either have to do it or you don't work here. And that's not, I'm you know, tongue in cheek with that, but we did some training, and it's funny enough, we had one employee in particular, great employee, touched the company line, not the most educated person, but he worked really hard. So we were just doing it for him. Hell, he got mad. How come everyone else has got work orders? How come I don't have work orders? All right, Dave, let's sit down. Let's go through this. So,
Nothing like a
it's
little
one of those
competition.
things. It's almost peer pressure allows everyone to do it, and you know, you don't. If someone's not completing their work orders or anything like that, and not doing it, we call them out, and they. But it's one of those things. The team likes it because it makes their job easier to have all the information there for them.
You don't have to have the latest and greatest iPhone to run the program. You know, you don't have to have an iPhone 10 to run it.
It works cross-platform, it works on Android platforms. Yeah, should be.
So when you're creating work orders for an application, when you're putting in your inputs or your spray, is it giving you a hard stop if you go off-label? Will it allow you to push that work order?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything, Ben or Chris, that will limit. Yeah, I don't think that's in Granular's wheelhouse. You know, they'll provide you the EPA registration number so you can get the label very easily. But as far as can't do that, man, that's not their wheelhouse. I haven't seen anything to date that would stop you from doing that. Now, it might be, I don't know, that would be extremely complicated to do, to have like a flash up or something like that, because then that software's got to know the crop rates.
That's what I was
timings,
worried it
and-
would pull the label from, what database it's pulling from, to give you a hard stop off for that chemical.
I haven't seen anything in there that would give you a hard stop if you're off label.
We work with Greenbook, that's the back end of our input side of the software, so we're pulling a lot of the labels out of there and Acre and so a couple of those online sources. But we have re-entry intervals baked into the software. All that's part of your tank mix. But we don't have a specific notification that pops up and says, hey, you can't do this.
How much time do you spend a week implementing it?
It's almost, you know, I spend a lot less time on it than I do Facebook or LinkedIn or anything that I shouldn't be spending time on. And it's not like you sit down, I got 4 hours today, then I got 4 hours tomorrow. It's literally, so I got 2 little ones, and after we get them in bed or something like that, I can spend 15 minutes there, I can spend 15 minutes in the morning, you know, I'm waiting for someone to get to me, and I don't have to be behind the computer. If a guy calls and says, hey, I don't have any work orders, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to do that, I'll just pull my phone out and you know, in 5 minutes and sent on to them. So it's very flexible, and that's the good thing about it is, you know, we all have, as times change, there's not a house with a piece of land around it, and you can sit there and look at all your tractors. And one tractor or the other might be 20 minutes apart, and I might not look at either one of them today. So it allows me to, you know, good example was first day of planting season, I'm in the hospital having, I'm gonna have to get my wife's out of bed. Looks pretty good, but we're, you know, first day of planting season, I'm in the hospital, and you guys have work orders and know what to do. And that gives you that flexibility.
All right, guys, to stay on time, to stay on, oh, go ahead.
Cost per acre?
Ben, Chris?
Somewhere between $1.50 and $3 an acre.
But from an efficiency standpoint, that pays for itself.
Tremendously economically feasible. Yep,
Very, very.
no doubt. All right, we got to swap to the next session. Thank you guys for being here and speaking this morning. Thank you for investing time listening.